Superman. DC Direct. Is this the best Superman in the McFarlane line? That's a real question. It's a big question. And it says a lot. Look, for a long time, when I first got into these, it took me a long time to get in to this line. Now that I'm into it, it's going to go away. But it took me a long time to get into the line because there were things about the McFarlane figures I did not like. And he was one of them. I kept saying, if I'm going to jump in, I need a Batman, I need a Superman, I need the mainstays. I need it. But then, I tried to jump in. I saw a Superman. And I said, oh, okay, yeah. Well, I really don't like the body design. Then I saw another Superman. And I said, ooh, okay, this one's looking better. This might be the perfect body design. Oh, what's that about? And I seen his face, and I'm like, that's not Superman. I hate that. Then I saw another one, which was passable at best, but like I hated the way that his cape was always in flight. And I was like, what am I going to do with that? Like I could do one pose ever, and if I do anything else, it's just going to look awkward. I don't like that. I hate that. So I moved away from that Superman. Then I found another one. And his arms weren't quite right. It kind of bugged me. And then I found another one, and the face was wrong again. And then I found a 2-pack, and it was like, what is that? Why does he have Jay Leno's smiling face? Like, it was one after another, after another, after another. It just felt like either 1, McFarlane did not understand Superman, 2, he didn't care. It just felt like that. This is what I was waiting for. Was that so hard? He's buff and he's big. But there's a criteria to that. He doesn't need to be absolute bodybuilder buff. He needs to be large physique buff. He needs to have the right face. He needs to have the curl. He needs to have the big S. It needs to be the emblem that I want. He needs to have the shorts. Okay? He needs to have the belt. And the cape needs to be about the right size. I like the cape to go down. This is actually not long enough for me. I like the cape, well, this is arguable because it's kind of blowing back. I like the cape to be right about to the top of these boots. Maybe the littlest bit under there. And I don't like the cape to touch the ground. I know I am particular. But being particular, I wanted the Superman to be right. And I got to talking to some people, and they told me, I know the one that you want. It's the Action Comics Superman. And I said, great. Then I went and looked him up. And then I said, not going to happen. I will not spend $120 on a McFarlane figure. You are out of your mind. And so then I was out for Superman. And finally, they did the re-release of the Action Comics Superman with the cape. And I bought him. And I had my problems with him, but I was willing to go with it. That was the Superman for my shelf. Then they released Christopher Reeve's Superman, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I got that. Then they released Supergirl, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Then here's Power Girl, and I got that. Then they were like 1940s Superman, and I was like, oh, what is happening? I went from no Superman at all was catching my interest enough to get my money to every single one coming out the door all of a sudden gets my cash. And then they follow that up with the Kingdom Come Superman, which I have bought. It is the slowest traveling Superman in the world. It will be here someday, and someday I will open it. Everybody else has theirs. Mine is still on pre-order in the Nexus somewhere, waiting to be delivered someday. And then they do this. And after the Christopher Reeve Superman, I thought to myself, especially when the 1940s and Kingdom Come were done, We're done. I'm not getting another. We're done. Everybody starts talking about this Superman. And I said, crap. I go and I look at it. I even watch a guy's video because I have to know. I'm like, is that just the Christopher Reeve body with a different head? I don't know about that. Then I got to looking at him. And this one guy's video did it for me. He did a comparison. He stood it next to the Christopher Reeve Superman. And I said, oh, he's different. All right. You have my attention. And I put the money down. And now I'm going to see, is this the best McFarlane Superman? I don't know. If he's not, he's got to be second, at least. Let's open this guy. Okay, well, Superman comes with stop hands, or flight hands, or throwing paper hands, whatever you would like them to be. He also comes with punching hands for punching, or throwing rock. He can't do scissors. He's got an absolute... You actually have a weakness, buddy. So you better be careful. You want to throw hands with that 1960s Batman that I got on the shelf, buddy. He can beat you. And he comes with another disc stand. McFarlane, what are we doing? What? Why? Dude, you have released flight stands in this line with no extra price to the value of the frickin' figure. And the characters that you released flight stands with were Superman. Then you do what might very well be your swan song Superman right here. Look, I would pay the extra money. Let me fix that. There we go. The diaper. There, got it. The diaper was a little, because in the box he has his leg up, and it was that part in the seam here was pinching into the diaper, which is causing a problem. It still kind of is there, but I can fix that. I don't think that's too big of a deal. So let's check him out, shall we? Oh man, that face. You could maybe argue it should have been the littlest bit skinnier, but you're going to be hard pressed to claim that face is not basically exactly what you wanted. Let's see if we can't focus this camera on that face. Up, almost up. There we go. It's good. Like, it's really good. Webcam thing always has me giving problems when it comes to trying to focus on the faces here. The chest, it's broad, but it's not too big. I don't necessarily hate the way that this is done. I understand that we need the movement, and I get it. And I actually don't mind the cut being down here because, like, it kind of feels like the lower ribs and whatnot, like the bigger ribs. I don't really have a problem with that. The S, I've heard some people say that they don't like that this is painted, that it's not sculpted. But I would like to pose a minor argument. The S is not raised on this costume. It never has been. Not on this classic Superman. This was a shirt with an emblem. And that is a shirt with an emblem, which kind of makes that perfect. I've also heard some people indicate that they don't like that it has the black outline. I would like to make a counter argument. This was a Superman that very blatantly had that black outline on the S. There was always a separation of color between the blue and the red. Always. And it was a black line. So I don't blame him for that either. The belt seems spot on. The color separation is solid. The blue and the red is right there, man. The boots are the right size. And if I'm not mistaken, now this could be mostly reuse, if not almost complete reuse, of the Fletcher body. The 1940 Superman body. I can't say that 100%. But I think it's possible. And I don't think I hate that. I mean, let's be honest, that was probably the best Superman that they have done in the line. So why would I hate that? His cape, we got the wireframe, good. We got the cloth. It's just a heavy enough material. I like this. I like this a lot more than I like that nylon material. This is nice. We got the S. We got the S. It comes down, but it comes down and it stays on the back. It doesn't come down and reveal the blue shirt here. So we're not looking at that kind of Superman. And you know what? That's fine. I actually prefer this Superman rather than the one where the cape actually hangs down and you see the blue of the shirt. I've never actually been a fan of that. And he's got a super butt. There you go. Look, this guy is solid. The hair is good. Like, you could argue certain profiles don't look perfect. And I wouldn't necessarily argue with you. And we're all going to have preferences here. The hands seem right. They don't seem like they're too big. He's got the solid butterflies and everything like that. I mean, this guy is pretty much exactly what we have been looking for since the line started. He looks approachable, but he doesn't look too grimace. But he actually doesn't look like, how do I put this? He looks like he could be serious, but he looks like he could be approachable. That's Superman. Like, that works for me as well. Maybe we could have used a little bit more definitive blue on the eyes. But I don't know, man. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you are looking for a definitive classic Superman, this is it. And for the price range that we are talking about, this is probably the best Superman you will get at this price range. Period. Like, it's very, very good. However, on a personal note, this is personal. This is 1,000% personal note. It does not reflect badly on this Superman. I would still tell you that there are minor things I'm seeing here in the face and in the profile that makes me feel like while this is the best classic Superman you can get, the 1940s Superman is better in terms of its accuracy to what it is. The 1940s Superman is like he walked right out of the television screen. I mean, it is so unbelievably good. And there's not a moment that I don't look at him and go, that's the best Superman on the shelf. This guy's not going to make me do that. This guy is up against two absolute titans on the shelf, if we're being perfectly honest. There's a Christopher Reeve on the shelf, which is unbelievable. And there's a 1940s Superman on the shelf, which for me is the absolute pinnacle of these figures so far. But if you are looking for a standard, straight, classic Superman at the price point we're talking, I don't think you could do better. And I know people reference things like Mafex and things like that, and I understand you like what you like, but let us be honest, every time you step $10 up, you're stepping into a different monster. And if you're talking about Mafex, one of the only problems I really have with Mafex is they scale small. Superman always seems like small compared to some other figures, compared to what I feel like he should be. And that's up for debate for everybody else's personals in terms of the figures that you're going to scale him with. You want him to fight the Hulk or something like that? I get it. You may want him to scale small because you want him to match up with figures like that. But right now, the main DC line that's out is right here. And if you buy something like Mafex, your Superman stands alone. It's an argument to have. And I'm not here to tell you how to manage your collection. 1,000%. You'll like what you'll like, and I'll like what I like. And I can tell you right now, if you share the kinds of opinions I do, and if you watch the show and you care one way or another what I think that if you've been looking for an absolute Superman on your shelf, I do think it is him. I do think it is him.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.